Have I made you pinto beans yet? I don't think I have. I'm germinating some lemon seeds that I got from our lemons last night. And this is some rainwater that I harvested from the last storm that we have. We like to put this under our beds to remember our dreams, and I also water my seedlings with it. Our mini banana pepper plants have been ready to be transplanted. I'm just waiting to get paid so that I can buy some more Cocoa Coir and some Miracle Grow. Even though I said I wasn't going to use Miracle Grow anymore, I am going to mix it with my Cocoa Coir. And in here we've got some tomato seedlings and 2 lemon trees. I usually have a red bean, a black bean, or a white bean in the fridge. I like to keep proteins around for my teenagers to easily make meals. That's the base of an easily made salad or a soup or a bowl where they'll just cut up some veggies, some lettuce, some balsamic vinegar, some oil, some seasoning, and just eat a veggie bowl. I'm going to show you. I'm a quick and lazy vegan, but my teenagers are not vegan, but they certainly indulge in my vegan fare. Making a decaf coffee with almond. I'm not supposed to have coffee because it kicks up my bipolar and it makes me manic. So on days where I write, because I'm also a writer and a music artist, I like to drink a little decaf. I romanticized being a writer since childhood with coffee. So, coffee. All right. I soaked my beans overnight and then gave them a good rinse. Now I'm just going to set them off to the side and heat up my Dutch oven. You've been here for a while. You know how much I love my Dutch oven. We have a red one and a blue one. The blue one is Judah's because he kept using mine after I bought it. All right, so I'm going to set this to the side. I'm not going to warm it up yet. I'm going to get my seasonings together. Okay, so I have 2 tablespoons of pink salt. I've got 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of dill, 2 tablespoons of paprika, a little bit of smoked paprika, and about a tablespoon of dried mustard. I love to play around with different flavors. I love to play around with herbs, salts, seasonings, different types of ways of making the same dish because I do make the same dishes all the time. I have a limited diet because I have a lot of food. Like, my body reacts weird to food. A lot of food. Anything that's not plants, my body reacts weird to it. It bloats up. I have a lot of swelling issues and a lot of issues with pain from my nerves from a car accident. So I have to eat very intentionally, but I also have to feed my kids and make sure that they're getting proper nutrients and they also actually like the food. So you will see me make the same thing over and over again, but every time I'll do something a little bit different. Like this time we're going to add carrots, onion, and garlic. So I'm going to chop up my veg. Okay, here's our vegetables, garlic, onions, and carrots. You see I diced the carrots up real small. That's going to pair very well because these will plump up a little bit more, but yep. And Roger doesn't really like carrots all like that, and I find if you just prepare vegetables differently than what they don't like, they might like them. Here's the rest of the garlic, and this is for the compost bin, and these are our seasonings. And now we're gonna go turn on the Dutch oven. Now we're gonna turn this bad boy on. Let's put them on a medium, and I'm gonna go get some olive oil. We're about to put our vegetables in there. I'm gonna saute these for a few minutes. Add a little bit more salt. You know I like to salt at every stage of cooking. So I'll add a little bit of salt now, and then when we add our beans in here, I'll add our mix. Which the salt that I had before, I just went ahead and added that in here. This is new salt. Just to clarify, keep everything straight. I need to find some herbs to put in here. I'll do that later. Let me go throw that cornbread together real quick. Actually, before I get to the cornbread, I just preheated the oven to 450. I need to make this broth that I'm going to put into the beans instead of water. It's just going to be salt, paprika, and onion powder. I'm going to do that real quick. Okay. Sometimes I put parsley in there. But like I said, it all depends on my mood, who I'm cooking for, and just how creative I feel like being that day, honestly. This is the same bowl that we had our minced vegetables in. You can see them floating around. Alright. I don't want to cook these for too much longer. I just want to unlock the flavor. Beans are going to boil for a few hours. Well, actually simmer for a few hours, so we don't want to end up with mushy vegetables. There's our pink salt. Do a nice mix. I'm trying to think. I think I did these pinto beans with tomatoes one time, and they turned out so good. We should do that next time. Usually, I use 2 bags of beans, but this time I only used 1 because I just did not feel like making a whole bunch of beans. And plus, the kids just had beef stew. Like, the kids still had beef stew from the other day. I don't want to have too much in there at one time. I'm going to mix this up, and then I'm going to add my seasonings. Let me stir these up a little bit first. I find the mistakes that I make the mistake that I used to make making beans a lot was overwatering them. Recently, like in the past year or so, my mistake is either over-salting the beans, which is rare, under-salting the beans. And that's why I have learned to salt at every step when you're cooking. Baking, not so much. Look how coated that is. This is my way of making sure that every bean is touched with salt. I don't want to have any spaces that have no flavor. Look at that. I'm going to just cover the beans. Perfect! Yay, we did a good job this time. So now we know that that is the perfect bowl for 1 bag of beans. Alright, I'm going to bring this to a boil and then let it simmer for a few hours until it gets soft. Now we can go make the cornbread. I guess I won't be getting Miracle Grow because this is the second time that this has been infested with mites, and I just killed it. This is a peroxide water mix. That's what you do. It's much less expensive than getting whatever that oil is that you can use for it. But yeah. That's crazy. The only reason I wanted to get the Miracle Grow anyway was simply because it had nutrients in the soil, and you have to feed the soil or the plant will starve. But I looked up how to make plant food at home, and you can take vegetable scraps, the same scraps I'm freezing from my compost bin, and put them in water for 2 days. I'm going to look up whether or not you can boil them, but put them in water for 2 days and then use that water to feed your plants. I'm going to do everything naturally because I didn't feel comfortable using Miracle Grow anyway. I felt like it was cheating because if I was in a dire situation and I didn't have access to these scientific soils, would I still be able to grow food? So I want to do everything naturally. I don't want to have chemicals in our food. I don't want to have chemicals in our plants. I want to have as close to an organic garden as I can. It's looking real organic with them damn mites, but luckily the peroxide and water works immediately. It works. It's the second time I've had to do it. They keep leaving the freaking door open, man. Okay, so I'm going to use a different recipe this time. I'm going to use a recipe that's on the back of this Red Mill Organic Medium Grind Cornmeal. And I'm just going to substitute the 2 eggs for flaxseed eggs. So I'm going to make them first. 1 tablespoon of flaxseed, 3 tablespoons of water. Okay, now this is for a buttermilk cornbread recipe, but I'm using almond milk. So combine medium grind cornmeal and buttermilk in a large bowl and let sit for 10 minutes. 1 1/3 cups. So this is wait, let me get my little bowl. So sit the cornmeal and the milk to the side for 10 minutes. Okie dokie. Yes, let me not use a metal. It's new to me, but I'm going to try something once. All right, sit to the side for 10 minutes. Will do. Get some of the chunks out of there. I didn't say anything about chunks. All right, I feel like I was moderately successful getting those lumps out. Next up, coffee break. Here I have a cup of wheat flour. Then I have 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I love that this recipe doesn't have a lot of sugar. And I have 1/2 a heaping teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of pink salt. So the directions say to mix all the dry ingredients together and add it to the cornmeal mix. So we'll put the cornmeal mix in a bigger bowl. Give that a bit of a mix. Then we'll put our flour, our this, and our that. Give it a little bit of a 1, 2, 3, 4 into the cornmeal mix. Now mixing, and then we need to add our flaxseed egg and 1/4 cup of coconut oil or butter. Give it a go. Tasted a bit of it. Very good, not too sweet. And I said 400, but when I looked at the directions, it said 375, so that's what it's been on. All right, I got my cast iron skillet. It's already nice and greased up. I'm gonna let this sit for a few minutes like I always do with my baked goods, and then we should have cornbread in about 25 minutes, gang. Yep. Cornbread's done. I think I did 20 minutes though, just because they were using a loaf pan in the recipe, and I knew that my batter was more thinly spread out, so it wouldn't need as much time to cook. See how it didn't rise that much? It's perfect. I'm excited. I hope the kids love it. The beans are going strong. I'm gonna put them on like, what is this, a 3? So they can simmer. They shouldn't be boiling. It seems like it's a lot of water in there, so I took a little bit of it out. That's gonna be delicious. It's been like an hour, and let me tell you, the house smells amazing. I made some jasmine rice, and the beans should be done in about 30 minutes. I'm excited. Okay, so it's been about another 45 minutes to an hour, and the beans are pretty soft. But now I'm gonna put them on a simmer, like a super simmer. Okay? And we'll be back in about an hour, and then we'll turn them off and then let them soak up all that beautiful juice. And then we are done, guys. It's nice and light and airy. That flaxseed is everything. It's not dry. Yeah, it's perfect. Not too sweet. I like this recipe. We did good, y'all. I'm so happy. We did a good job. Look at that cornbread. Oh, nice. He's looking nice. Sweet. That's a win, friend. We're gonna put these tops on here and save it for the kids later. Okay, it's been about an hour, and this is what we've got. It'll continue to soak up the broth, but the beans are done. This was a win, friends. Got our carrots in there, garlic, herbs, onions, deliciousness. They got their little jasmine rice, nice and fluffy, and their cornbread is done. Judah already came in here and took one. He didn't say anything, so that means he likes it. If he didn't like it, he'd have been like, tuh, and threw it in the trash. I'm over here making some hair oil for us. Thank you to the subscriber that got this off of my Walmart registry. That's cool. Thank you so much. This is what I'm doing with it. Okay, guys, what do you think? Was this a win? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you for spending time with me here in Fury World. If you're interested in checking out my music, it's available under my artist name, The Fury of Abyss, on all music streaming platforms worldwide. I love you, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.